Welcome to the Two Smart Guys Gluten-Free Cook Show. This is my wife, Danette.
And my husband, Patrick, and our baby, Colton. And these guys are the reason I'm gluten-free.
So we're going to make some gluten-free cookies today.
Yep.
This is one of the first recipes that I learned to cook when I was very first diagnosed at the age of 11. I baked it by myself, and I'm sure that you can too. And if you have a child that's newly diagnosed, this would be a great recipe for them to learn. And it tastes great.
Yep. The first recipe we're going to do is my favorite peanut butter cookie recipe. It doesn't use flour. That's one of the basics to gluten-free cooking. You're either going to replace your flour or leave it out. This recipe is really easy. You're going to love it. I've started with a teaspoon of baking soda, and into that I'm just going to crack an egg and add 1 cup of peanut butter. And then I'm going to use the same cup to measure out 1 cup of sugar. And it's that simple. We're just going to combine these ingredients. Now, you should have your oven preheated to 325 degrees. Now, this is a natural peanut butter that I'm using, so we've still got some big hard chunks. With a natural peanut butter, the oil sometimes separates, so you have to mix it back together. And I don't think I got this quite mixed before we started. Now, the reason that I chose to use natural peanut butter in this recipe is because we're already adding a cup of sugar, so we don't need all of that extra. We're controlling the amount of sugar that goes in, just like you want to control the amount of salt that goes into your recipes. By using unsalted butter, things like that. And then once this is a good consistency and everything is mixed together, you're ready to spoon them onto your tray. Now, I've lined my baking sheet with some aluminum foil just so that the cookies don't get my sheet all gummy. You know, it's less work later on. I'm a pretty lazy chef, so any shortcuts I can take, I usually do. Now, you can either spoon them on like this, or you can roll them. They won't roll real well, but you can get sort of little globby shapes, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And they'll flatten out quite a bit while they're baking, so you want to make sure there's enough space in between. I've been cooking and baking gluten-free for about 9 years now. A little more, a little less. And I've found a lot of tricks, and I'm going to share those with you guys as we go along. This is only our first recipe. We'll definitely get more advanced. We'll definitely do lots of fun stuff. Now, with half of these cookies, I'm just going to press them out like your traditional peanut butter cookies. You don't want to flatten them out too much, though, because these are going to be a sort of thin recipe. There's no flour in it to hold it together. So keep in mind they're going to be a little delicate once they bake. I'm going to have more than 1 sheet of cookies because we've still got a little bit of dough left. So with some of these, I'm just going to come in and push a little dot in them with my thumb. And to that, you can add your favorite chocolate, you can add your favorite jam or jelly. If you make your own, even better. If you don't, I would definitely recommend the unsweetened ones. Fruit is plenty sweet enough without all the extra sugar. All right, what I'm going to add is just a little bit of hot fudge. You know, right out of the can. I found a gluten-free hot fudge. So these are going to be like chocolate peanut butter cookies. Some of that is probably going to run over. It's okay. Some of it will stay in there. Now, you don't want to press in real deep with your thumbprints because these cookies are pretty delicate, like I was saying. They're going to need a little more care than other cookies, but they're awesome. Okay, so we're going to throw the cookies in the oven, 325 degrees for 15 minutes. Now another advantage to using tin foil on your baking ware is if you've got anyone in the house that you're cooking for who is not gluten-free, you don't want to cross-contaminate your food. I didn't know this until we talked with a dietitian, but the gluten that you're baking with can actually soak into the bakeware and then cook into the next thing. Okay, the cookies are done, so we're going to go ahead and pop them out of the oven. Now that hot fudge did go everywhere. You're going to want to let these cool on the sheet for at least 5 minutes, just to make sure they kind of set on the bottom. My biggest suggestion for you is to start simple. This is probably the first gluten-free recipe I ever used, and it was actually taught to me by my husband. If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, you can easily register on our forums and post them there, or you can email me at danette@gfcook.com and I will try to respond. And we hope to release an episode once a month, so check back the first Friday of every month. Store-bought products, read the labels on everything. It's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. And also call a lot of the companies. Most of them will give you information on which of their products are completely gluten-free. They can send you a list in the mail. You can visit their websites and email them, and a lot of times they'll get back to you a little quicker that way. But phone calls are great. Anytime a product has a 1-800 number on it, give them a call and make sure that they're gluten-free. The Celiac Association, wherever you're located, can also give you a printout of most products that are gluten-free at the time.